Hi, it's Kelly Savage with the Butterfly Thoughts Podcast. Welcome and thank you for joining me as we take our transformation journey day by day, thought by thought, and we're doing it together. In a few short moments a day, we provokingly reflect and challenge ourselves into a different perspective, starting with just one thought. Today's episode is, what's your problem? Today I was presented with an issue, a problem, a conundrum, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't mine, but someone else's issue who was talking to me about it. They were trying to figure out a solution, come to a resolve, work it through and get an answer that would fix the problem. I cared about this issue since I cared about the person. And I wanted to help, so I started thinking of real resolutions and how to solve. As I was getting ready for the morning just a few minutes after the conversation, I took about 5 minutes and came up with an option A or an option B. Both were easy to come up with, but one seemed really good, like it fit, and it was going to work and solve the issue. Bingo! I presented the suggestion, and it was well received. Okay, matter solved. Easy peasy. Next. But of course, my mind just shifts into the working of our minds and our thoughts, our choices. And my moment with God and my butterfly whisper flew in. That is where doors open. The answer. Issues can be resolved. Answers can come. But the answers may require action. The power of choice to make the goal, take the steps, see things happen, and evolve. You hear me often, or you will if you listen to my podcast or do life coaching with me, that the power of choice in our lives is vital. It's totally underestimated. It is not fully recognized for the power it really does hold. And it's so necessary, but sometimes not used. I could go on and on, but I won't. However, how come we can't always think of a quick solution for our problems? Is it because it's our problem? Can we not be objective looking into it as a third party? Maybe we don't want to work for it if there's steps involved. How about if the answer requires patience? Maybe we don't want to get out of the normal routine or, the familiar road in our life. Maybe because it is our issue, there are too many emotions wrapped up into it, and we all know emotions can get messy. Perhaps anxiety gets us in a tizzy. The unfamiliar is a bit scary. Maybe we are in a rut and can't seem to get out. Maybe we are concentrating so much on the issue that we are not thinking of a resolution, so we become stuck. Could it be depression that one can't even seem to think at all, or it just seems too overwhelming? Those are a lot of maybes, and there could be a slew more, but let's pump the brakes and shift our focus. Perspective. Use your power of choice, and instead of saying, I got a problem, try saying, here's my issue, now I will think of a solution. By the way, we all have issues, some little, some big, some consistent, but even the minor ones can really seem big to a person when they're dealing with it. Contemplating over which ones are bigger, smaller, more serious, etc. will really not help anyone. So, if you mix up your words and proclaim that you will find the answer, what will that do? I don't know. However, if you're stuck on a problem, you keep repeating it and going over it in your mind constantly and not coming out with an answer, it's worth a try, right? We all have heard of nothing changes if nothing changes. Please allow me to repeat. Nothing changes if nothing changes. What we focus on and what we do matters. What we think matters. I might just change the title from "What's your problem" to "What's your answer?" Disclaimer time. Proclaiming we have an answer doesn't make it true. Certainly doesn't make it go away and poof, problem is solved. There are steps. There are decisions. There is a power of choice to lean into or practice. There could be small goals needed to get to larger ones and continuous steps that are different than our autopilot we sometimes find ourselves on. There is focus needed on a solution bigger than our focus on the issue. Leaning into our faith and praying that God will help. That's just truth. He will always walk aside of you, guide you, and strengthen you. He will pour out grace and more. But God requires us by our choice to walk through things as well. And when change is needed in our life, we must do our part. Sometimes just keep on keeping on in faith, leaning on Him to move in the situations is required. Sometimes He asks us to wait and be still. If that is what He wants, that is revealed in our conversations and relationship with Him, and Holy Spirit moments, and us releasing things to Him. However, there are plenty of times, plenty of circumstances and situations in our life that He will not do it for us. Our friends do not do things for us. If they do, it very well may not help in the end at all. To know the difference of God moving and us doing, of God taking the lead or releasing the lead to us, is wisdom. You yielding to what is asked and taking your power of choice and walking it out is vital. It's needed, necessary, and the very thing that is pivotal in your life for change. Walking through things is sometimes the very thing that strengthens us, matures us, grows us, and develops us into the people we are at this moment and the people we will become in the future. So here's to the After the Sermon series and butterfly thoughts. Here's to issues. Here's to solutions. Here's to prayer. Here's to power of choice. Here's to the ability to open up and develop wisdom. Here's to learning. Here's to growth. Here's to different perspectives. Here's to knowing when to be still and when to move. The beauty is in the blend of us, yielding, being still, listening, acting, using our power of choice, releasing to Him, and resting in a relationship with Him. Have a great day.